Hello? Hello? This is a quick audio test before we jump into this. I'm gonna move the mic a little closer. Yeah, I'm a little far away. So anyways, hello? So, I do have a thing to admit. I'm not entirely ready yet because I was originally going to pick meme images to use in place because we don't have the perk art yet. However, I decided that was stupid because there was no text. So you couldn't tell, like, okay, what is the whetstone from Monster Hunter supposed to mean, right? And I feel like that would get confusing. So in Photoshop, I'm cooking up a bunch of like blank slate perks. So what we can do is, I mean, you can look. This is the old tier list that you're looking at right now. And we can kind of talk about this a little bit as I go to as I basically like work on Photoshop to make like these meme perks into like something actually readable. And in case you're wondering, the title is not clickbait. 2 days ago, Panstash released I don't know if it's all the new perks, but it's 12 new perks. So that's a lot of perks. So he announced 12 new perks on the Discord. The official World of Horror Discord, I should say. So we're just gonna kind of vibe right now. And I don't know what happened to my Photoshop. It looks really weird. Like, how do I get to layers? I'm gonna save this. And then I'm gonna close Photoshop and open it up again. Because it's pretty weird. Like, I don't have... I did have to turn my monitor on and off repeatedly. We're gonna turn the music up a little bit. I actually, like, literally just bought the soundtrack, like, 5 minutes ago. And I mean, Forest Investigation is apparently the first song on the track, so... Hold on, I'm gonna give you... Can I minimize this, and is it gonna look weird for you? No, okay. So, right now everything is a mess. This is a scuffed live stream. This is a really scuffed live stream, but I didn't want to make you wait. Like, I made you wait for, like, 20 minutes. What on earth is that? I'm a little scared. There's a zombie. Why was there a zombie in the top right corner? I haven't, like, streamed in a while, and I don't remember the settings that I set up. So when there's just a random zombie on the screen, I get a little concerned. I can't see my layers in Photoshop anymore. This is hell. Let me change, like, this works for Adobe Premiere. You can switch between workspaces, and that will usually get it back. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know what any of these things are. I ain't never seen these options before. There we go, I got the layers back, we're in business. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little, because I don't want this to be like the majority of the stream. We're just gonna, pretty simply, I'm gonna type the names of the perks, and then I'm going to import them into the tier list. I would happily watch right now, but sadly it's time to sleep, way past midnight. Listen, I mean, you gotta get to that. Sleep is a time machine to breakfast. I hope you have a nice sleep, and yes, this will be on the channel. We do VODs automatically here, so you can watch it whenever you want to. So I'm gonna bring up the new perks. And I mean, you can see the new perks on your screen right now. In case you are also curious. And also their effects are there as well. And so originally I was gonna put like a little meme image there to kind of show that, just as like a little joke, but we don't have time for that. So maybe later. I'm just gonna do the titles. And where is my Cyberpunk waifus font? Hello? Photoshop? Although I do have, like, a few images here. Oh, hello, Kiwi. Yo, if the mystery meat is long pig steak, that has potential to be overpowered. 25 banked stamina or 5 banked funds. I made a new row in the tier list for when we get to it. And that is can't like rate it yet because I have no idea. Like I don't know what mystery meat is. So if that could be like lump of flesh or long pig steak, that would be insane. But I genuinely do not know. So I'm gonna throw that in the do not know tier. And what I will do real quick is I have some of the meme images. Whoops. I have some of the meme images already imported into Photoshop. So we're gonna just like poorly crop them in. Because why not? Like, I have them there. I'm not gonna seek out new ones. But we're gonna work with what we've got so far. So I've done fresh meat. Just give the quick export as PNG. And that's wanting to throw it in local temp, which is a little bit weird. But we'll head on down over to thumbnails, tier lists, and I'll just put that as bin. Premonition seems worthless after you memorize all the events. It does, Did I copy-paste that correctly, actually? Let me double check. I thought it did more than that. Let's see. Event options display which stat will be tested against when selected. Okay, yeah, that is, that's not very good. You can probably already guess where we're gonna rank that. But I'm just going down the, I hate how the text tool works in Adobe Photoshop. It's like one of the worst. It's one of the worst things I've ever used in my life. Like, it is... Can I just edit the text, please? Thank you. Like, it's so difficult to use. But we're schmoovin' here. And again, it wants to put it in local temp data. That's very strange. And it wants to save it as the same file name? I mean, you know, you do you, I guess. Oh, we got hospital? That is hospital, right? That's pharmacy. Fake fan? So looking at the old tier list real quick, because that's something we can do while I just like passively do this in the background. I think I was insane to put Fame as the best perk in the game. Like, I have no idea what I was on when I said that. I'm losing my goddamn mind here. Like, if I click on the text with the text tool, I should be able to edit the text. So let's see, what do we got here? I'm gonna do the ones that I have meme images for first. Haunting dreams be like... The Haunting by someone or other, I'm not entirely sure. I've never seen the movie. I did indeed just look it up on the internet. Yo, Pharmacy's kind of a banger, by the way. But now that you see Survival Instinct, oh ho ho ho. I do love Survival Instinct. That's crazy. Some of them look really cool, right? Like, I like Survival Instinct. I like, I mean, my two favorites, like, spoiler alert. My two favorites are Quick Shopper and Survival Instinct. Like, I love both of those. It's no Bulletin Combat? I mean, you're right. Is Bulletin in the... I'm pretty sure Bulletin is in this, right? Oh yeah, it is. Bulletin Combat's number 8. And we'll do Haunting Dreams here. I hope it's easy to edit the tier maker thing, because I have no idea if it is or not. Why do I just have a picture of a galaxy brain? Like, what was this for again? I really should have done all this before the stream started, but I was excited and I wanted to start the stream early. What can I say? Is more content? Oh my god. Please don't give me layer 1 text. I want to edit the one that I currently got. Okay. So another thing, looking at... So the tier list that we're going to do today is like, are the perks generally good? Not, are they good with the character? Because we're not going to be ranking characters today. So for me, Fame and Deft Handling being the best perks are insane. I agree with Fast Swimmer and Adrenaline being there, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've kind of come around on a lot of perks. Right, like, I think First Aid and Discipline might be, like, way better than plus damage perks. So we'll talk about it more later. How does Survival Instinct work with Ill-Fated? And has anyone done the level 100 Mizuki test? Not to my knowledge. I don't know anybody who's done the level 100 Mizuki. And then Survival Instincts, I imagine it will just make you automatically roll a 99, right? So, assuming you don't have modifiers, it should probably counteract Ill-Fated. And also, it kind of puts, like, low if that's... I'm pretty sure that is a low Statman perk. Right? Like, I'm pretty sure. And if that's true, then that puts low Statman in a new light. We'll make the Galaxy Brain, probably Morbid Inspiration? Because, I mean, somebody's being inspired, right? I do want to, like, I've been debating in my head if I want to waste the time that it is to see if we could possibly get, like, the level 100 Mizuki strat going. And, I mean, technically it's, like, less than 100 levels, because you could get something like, if you wanted to try Dexterity, you could get, like, Quick Thinking. But anything else, like trying to get stat boosts from, like, a Seal or an Ally, I think that might be a little too Galaxy Brain. Like, maybe an Ally, because you could go to the school and see if you could get any bonus stats there, but... So now that I'm out of meme images, we're just gonna do names now. So, Quick Shopper. And this is gonna be as fast as I possibly can. Because I would like to get to that eventually. Because we're gonna be talking about perks for probably too long. If I click on the text one more time and it creates a new layer, I'm gonna lose my neutral alignment. Why can I not? See, this is so weird. Like, you have to go to a state, like a specific state of being able to export something. It's very strange. And yes, these are gonna look awkward. I think you can also manage it decently with 2 instances of a free auto-clicker. I see, I see. Now, you know, what I'm interested in is I'm looking at inner strength, and we'll get to perk packs in a bit. I don't think we need a tier list for perk packs, but who, like, those are bad, right? Right, like, +2 stamina, +2 reason, +2 max stamina, +2 max reason, right? Like, obviously it's thematically appropriate, but I'm just looking at them and I'm like, they're not that good, right? Like, they're not good. And I'm thinking that maybe it's like if low stat man is the one who gets them, and he gets basically just destroyed in the early game, you can like YOLO a +2, or basically like +4 reason or +4 stamina with your level up, but I'm not entirely sold yet. Just standard Yashiro. Oh no, it is. It's Yashiro, but you have to spend 200 EXP and 2 perk slots for it. Oh god. That's, I need to do big spender. Big spend. Big spend. Let's go. So I think I've done like 7 of them. Actually, I do have a meme image for Survival Instinct, so... we'll just put that on there real quick. Okay. Is that... I mean, I gotta, like, try and crop it correctly, because that's just... I like that one a lot. And yes, you don't get to see it yet, because it'll be more funny to just, like, see them revealed. Hello? I thought I hit free transform? There we go. Wait. That's not free transforming at all. You lied to me, Premiere. You lied to me, Adobe Photoshop, I should say. I'm not using Premiere right now. Premiere is currently innocent. Oh, if only I had like a PNG for a wing, that would be really funny. But I don't off the top of my head. Head. I don't have a wing on the top of my head, unfortunately. Or do I? I do have Cerno threatening to beat up your parents, though, so that'll have to do for now. That seems like a certified winging it moment. The chaotic evil option. Hey, Vsauce Michael here. So let's see, I've done Sharpening Stone, Fresh Meat, Morbid Inspiration, Haunting Dreams, Quick Shopper, Big Spender. I haven't done the Tarot Reader yet. So basically for perk packs, for those who are not privy, when you're making a custom character, you can choose 2 perk packs. And all of the perk packs are on the official World of Horror Discord server. And some of them, like... I mean, some of them are kind of busted. But, like, I mean, Sports Star, Fast Swimmer, and Daddy's Girl, like, that's fantastic. And then Me Time is also very good. Self-Therapy and Hot Bath. Well, I guess Self-Therapy is slightly less good. I think the best one, and you're gonna laugh here, I think the best one is called Serial Killer, because it's doomed already in Anatomy class. So we're not quite at, like... I don't know if you can make your own perks. I'm not entirely sure yet. I hope you can, and that these are just, like, in case you don't want to make your own perks, you have these to fall back on. So yeah, I need to do... Let me just scroll back up. I have... Do I have Inner Strength yet? Or no, Inner Strength is a perk pack. Let's see, I've got Fresh Meat, Sharpening Stone... I have Skilled Butcher, Hounded Artist, Obsessive Shopper. I don't have Tarot Reader yet. And I don't have Unrelenting, so let's do Unrelenting now. Unrelenting, which isn't very good. But, you know. Making your own perks has the potential to generate some buggy behavior. That is true. Like, you're correct there. But I still wish that you probably could. Okay, the picture I chose for Unrelenting is perfect. Don't question it. And then... I'm pretty sure it's just Tarot Reader? I need to do Premonition and Stars Are Right, is that right? Yes, and then I think I'm done. Then we can start the tier list for real. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. So we'll do... I almost typed Premonition as Premonition, and we are not in the Uwu, we are not in the Uwu story arc yet. You can't make me. So at this point, I am literally just, like, taking... I'm just taking random images that I have on my, like, meme files and just throwing them into the, Oh, no. Do they mean anything? Do they matter? Probably not. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? Yeah, sure. Why not? You can't make me? Are you sure about that? Yes. I am sure. Oh, I can't import any images because I have the text tool open. That's... Yeah, no, of course. That's a very, very smart decision there, Adobe Premiere. Web can't be forced, or can he? Also, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I have a chat box on the screen now. I didn't know that I could do that. I just figured it out like 5 minutes before hitting the go live button. So that's cool. Now, how any of this will turn out on the actual, like, tier maker, I have no idea. Because, like, they kind of crop images weirdly. No, do not give me lorem ipsum. I do not wish to make another layer of... Oh my god. The stars are right, by the way. Like, you should trust the stars. The stars are correct. Why is it not letting me move the image? This is cursed. There we go. Perfectly cropped, as all things should be. And by that, I mean it's not cropped at all. Okay, I got them all. Now I can close Adobe Photoshop, never to open it again. Because it is a hell software, and I dislike it. And now we can open back up this thing. You can see my cursor, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. I'm gonna dab on you with an Emmerdale real quick. I'm still gonna be talking, of course, but I need to edit the, I need to turn it off of presentation mode by going into the URL and typing presentation mode false because I can't find the button. Then I'm gonna click edit, and then we're gonna upload a set of images. And then we're gonna go to Fin, and then I'm going to shift click all of these in here. And we are going to add show extra rows cannot currently rank, submit. Oh god, it looks horrible. Oh no. Okay, well, it doesn't have to look good, alright? It doesn't have to look good. It just has to be readable, which it is. So congratulations. Hello? Welcome to the stream. You know, it was... Listen, there's a funny story, alright? The first time I read your name, and I'm gonna say parent because I know how to pronounce that, but the first time I read your name on stream, I read it wrong. And then I had a couple of people in the Discord say, Web, you idiot, this is how you actually pronounce it. And I'm sorry, that was like 7 months ago. 8 months ago? No, it was longer than that. Right? I don't know. Time is convoluted. So presentation mode is true. And then break screen loop goes away. Yay, there we go. So let me dismiss the... Not that. This one? No. Where? Image 2, that's it. Okay. So The new perks were announced 2 days ago, and we have them here. This is what they look like. That's what they look like. Fresh meat. So we have all the perks look like this. They look terrible. So we're gonna go buy the perks. To be fair, I live in a country where the sounds of both my first and last name don't really exist. This is pretty much the story of my life at this point. I am so sorry. I'm playing into the... I'm not only playing into the cliche, I'm playing into the, like, the lore itself. Oh, no. So, we're gonna start with... I have a picture of the old tier list here. I mean, the old tier list was on the screen for a long time. But we're going to start with Discipline and kind of work our way up. And by that, I mean we're going to rank the new perks first, because the new perks are fun. So, we got... let me bring up the list here. Because for you, hopefully, on the screen you can read that. But for me, it's like a tiny 480 by 480 box, and I can't read it. So, I'm just going to bring up the notepad that I have. So, first we have... first we have the perk pack Skilled Butcher, which has fresh meat and sharpening stone. So we'll just throw these on the board for now, and we'll rate them. So, for those of you who weren't here earlier, I explained what perk packs were. Perk packs, or for people who skipped to this point in the VOD, perk packs are essentially when you're creating a custom character, you can select 2 perk packs. And each perk pack has 2 perks in it. So basically you get 4 perks in total, but you don't get to choose which one you want. So unfortunately, my dream of a custom perk deck is not here yet. But it kind of is, because you can pick, like, 2 perks that you want, at the very least, and then get, like, 2 perks bundled with them that you don't really care about. So what is nice is that every character gets at least 4 perks, like... Because Mimi and Yashiro have 3 perks, is that right? No, sorry, Yashiro has 4 perks. Who has 3 perks? Like, Mimi has 3 perks. Is it Moriko? Yeah, it is. Deft Handling, Ammo Stash, and Daddy's Girl. Okay, so basically we're going to talk about the first perk pack, and then we're going to go from there. So, Sharpening Stone is very interesting. It is sharp-type weapons get an extra 1 damage. Now, I believe... I mean, we're just going to go to the weapons page here, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think that this is an awesome perk. I think this is a really cool perk. And the reason why is because... Now, you're probably immediately thinking the katana, right? But the thing is, there's also the steak knife. The steak knife is one of the fastest weapons in the game, with 72 speed, and it does 3 damage. You can legitimately get a 4 damage steak knife by spending 100 EXP. Like, I actually think that's really strong. Like, a 4 damage steak knife, like, that's one of the reasons why you play, like, Aiko Ithutu, is to get a 4 damage steak knife. A 4 damage steak knife that is... like, independent from things like Old God and, like, everything else. Like, yeah, no, I think that is potentially, like, incredibly strong. Like, I think that's potentially crazy strong. I'll be honest with you. So, I really like Sharpening Stone. I think that, like, yeah, like, if you think about it, how many sharp weapons are in the game? Probably not that many. Like, the steak knife, the katana, maybe the broken bottle? Maybe, like, I'm pretty sure the fire axe is... The army knife? The army knife? Meat cleaver? 5 damage meat cleaver could actually be pretty great. Is the meat cleaver... Yeah, the meat cleaver is sharp. Four damage steak knife is what Demon Mask is for. But then you could have a 5 damage steak knife. You could have... I mean, that's getting into the absurd territory at that point. But legitimately, right, like, a meat cleaver, that does 5 damage. Like, that's 5 damage at 90 speed. Not the best, but, you know, still completely fine. Will this be the start of Web turning around on meat cleaver strats? Oh, no. I mean, the meat cleaver is garbage. Worst weapon in the game. Trash tier. Even with... You could give the meat cleaver 100 damage and it would still be bad. 4 damage steak knife is what Kyoko is for, but then you could have a 6 damage steak knife, Kiwi. You gotta think of the stonks, okay? Sharpening stone is like getting lucky in the stock market, okay? Clearly, obviously. So, sharpening stone, I think, is an awesome perk. Because, I mean, plus one sharp. Plus one sharp weapon damage? It's pretty good. I like it a lot. Now, fresh meat is getting thrown in the currently cannot rank. The effect of gain a mystery meat for completing a mystery, I have absolutely no idea what a mystery meat is, okay? Like, earlier, Kiwi and I were like, you know, maybe it could be like long pig steak or lump of flesh, or maybe there's gonna be a bunch of mystery meat coming up in the new update. We don't know. If it is something like lump of flesh or long pig steak, then it's incredible. Like, it's more than incredible. Like, it could potentially be like a super triple S ghost rare. But we don't know what mystery meat is, so it could... Who knows? Like, I literally don't know what it could do. Like, I literally have no idea. So, moving on to the next perk pack, we have Morbid Inspiration and Haunting Dreams. So, Haunting Dreams and Morbid Inspiration. This is the Hounded Artist pack, so if you want one of these perks on your custom character, you have to take both of them. Morbid Inspiration is... I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Like, what it does is you gain EXP when you lose reason. I think... Like, I'm not gonna put it in detrimental tier where I put Fast Learner. Because it just, like, Fast Learner only works in combat, and Morbid Inspiration maybe just works in general, right? And so, I think you still don't want to lose reason, but if you could get, like, an extra 3 reason here, 2 reason there, because you walked into Cadaver Theater... I mean, sorry, if you could get, like, an extra 2 EXP or 3 EXP because you walked into a Cadaver Theater, that's not horrible, it's not detrimental, it's not detrimental. I still don't think it's very good, though. Like, if it gives you... this is based on an assumption, which is it will give you the same rates that Fast Learner does, which is 1-to-1. So you take 1 reason damage, you'd get 1 EXP. I think that there's a lot of reason cadavers in the game. And I think that because it would work, theoretically of course, because it works out of combat and in combat, I think it's not detrimental. But I think it could be worth running, like, if you get, like, bad generic perks. Like, if you get... You know, if you get leadership, art knowledge, and if your other 2 perks are leadership and art knowledge, you take this one, maybe. It has the potential to be worse than Fast Learner, but the real determining factor, how much EXP per reason it is. 3 would be decent, 4 would be good, 5 would be completely OP. I think it's gonna be 1-to-1. I think like Fast Learner, it's gonna be 1-to-1. You lose 1 reason, you get 1 EXP. You lose 2 reason, you get 2 EXP. That's what I would bet. Not my eyebrows, but, you know, because that's already in a bet. That's already in limbo. But I would bet that Morbid Inspiration is 1-to-1. And I'm gonna put it, like, maybe it's, like, the worst of okay, maybe it's the bottom of crap, but I think you can take it. I think you can take it. Like, I don't think it's terrible. Like, I mean, it's bad, but it's not, like, will get you killed. Haunting Dreams is interesting. It is essentially the reason equivalent of Daddy's Girl, where you regain extra reason for completing a mystery. We don't know if that's the same, which is going to be +2, or if it's different. I'm going to put this in awesome, because I think that the reason is by far, out of stamina and reason is the hardest to heal. Okay, like, you have so many things at your disposal that heal stamina exclusively, and then things that heal reason usually heal stamina too, like resting at your house, or going, like, resting at the inn in Fear Festival. So, essentially, I think that it's like, we're going to assume for the purposes of this tier list that Haunting Dreams is literally like a 1-to-1 equivalent to Daddy's Girl. Like, it is 2 reason at the end of every mystery. And in which case, I'm going to put it at awesome, because I think that reason is harder to heal. Like, unless you're playing Mimi, reason is the hardest thing to heal. It's Daddy's Girl that I want for Mimi. I mean, yeah. It is the, like, legitimately... It seems like a really good perk, and I want to, when we're talking about the hypotheticals of these perks, the thing that, like, when we're talking about hypotheticals for these perks, I want to assume that they are either better than current perks or, like, equivalent to current perks. Like, I don't want to assume by reading a perk that, oh, you know, this perk is garbage, blah, blah, blah. I want to assume that the developer would make the perks at least, like, usable, because why would you make a bad perk, right? Like, I mean, you gotta have some bad perks, but why would you, like, make a bunch of bad perks, right? And, I mean, clearly, there are some bad perks in here, as we will get to soon enough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just had to take a drink of my lemonade because I was thirsty. So, what do we got next on the list? We have the Obsessive Shopper. Now, I am really excited about this one, okay? And I believe that these are the two that I didn't bother giving meme images for. So, Obsessive Shopper. I'm actually really excited for Quick Shopper. Okay, the buying an item lowers doom by 2. So, I really like this perk, but I think it's, like, certified okay. Because most of the time... Oh, hold on, I missed something in chat. First Aid with Morbid Inspiration could have nice synergy. If the EXP... Oh, we just died, apparently. We're freaking dead. First Aid with Morbid Synergy... First Aid with Morbid Synergy. So First Aid and Morbid Inspiration could have nice synergy. You know, that's kind of what people said about, like, Fast Learner. If the EXP reward isn't 1-to-1. Okay, yeah. If it's more than 1-to-1, I completely agree. If it is 1-to-1, then I don't know. Like, I think it would be... Like, I feel like getting EXP when you lose Reason is more versatile than getting EXP when you take damage in combat. So if anything, I would say buff Fast Learner, and then make Morbid Inspiration like 1-to-1. But I mean, they should both probably be buffed, because if they are both 1-to-1, then, well, Fast Learner is 1-to-1, but if Morbid Inspiration is also 1-to-1, I think maybe they should be buffed. Just punched the microphone there. I do apologize for that. So, so back to Quick Shopper. Lowering Doom by 2 when you buy an item. I really like it, but I don't know how good it's going to be. Because when you do most of your shopping is at the beginning of the game, usually, right? Like, you want to pick up your weapon, and you want to maybe pick up a compass if you can. But really, you just want to go, like... Maybe... Like, how do I put it? If you're in a run where you have to go to the doctor a lot to buy, like, pain meds and experimental treatment, Quick Shopper is a banger. Okay, like, Quick Shopper is really nice, because it's 3%, so, it's 4% doom to enter a shop. It's 3% doom to reshuffle. So you're basically spending 2% doom to go to the shop, but I think the pharmacy is actually 3% doom, but I could be wrong there. If going to the pharmacy deals you 1% doom with Quick Shopper, that's incredible. Right? Like, I would even, like, borderline put that into awesome tier. I would caution your optimism for Obsessive Shopper. Even if you were doing most of your shopping after level 2, you still get doomed for shopping. Also, how many times are you actually shopping? Like, I agree, right? Like, in a good run, Quick Shopper is completely worthless. And to some extent, Big Spender as well. Well, actually, no, Big Spender, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's okay, and it has tech. Okay, Big Spender is the dodging jar of blood tech, okay? So, the only, like, I think that Quick Shopper could potentially be a huge, like, ill-fated first perk. Because if you get Quick Shopper on ill-fated, or you get Quick Shopper before you start the game, right? You go in, you buy your weapon, you buy your compass, and then you're set for the rest of the game. And since it's ill-fated, you're going to be losing a lot of health. Maybe you gotta pick up some pain medications or experimental treatments, or maybe a sewing kit or two. I think that sounds pretty good to me. And Big Spender, getting a fund back sometimes? I like it because sometimes you can set yourself into a situation where you spend your money, but you need to have a fund to dodge the humble jar salesman. And so I'm going to be honest with you, one of my complaints with stores in World of Horror is that they have cool stuff, but it costs so much doom that it kinda negates the purpose of the cool stuff being there because you can't really interact with it. Also, Quick Shopper is huge on Knight Errant. Because think about it this way. It basically kind of changes the game. Like, you're going to buy a can of acid, right? You spend 4% doom, and then you refresh because it's not there. 3% more doom. You spent 7% doom to get ending A for Freaky Feature of Found Footage, right? With Quick Shopper, you minus that by 2. So if you get lucky, and the can of acid is there on the first store, you spend 2% doom, so you dodge 5% doom. So I really, like, the more that I think about Quick Shopper, the more that I like it. And I might be, like, eating my words in the future, okay? But I appreciate Quick Shopper. I think it's a great idea to add to the game. And I don't, like... I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the Big Spender... It's okay, and I like it. But not because it gives you a fund back, because it helps you dodge the humble jar salesman. Because it is something you have to think about. It's like, how many times are you shopping? Like, Quick Shopper means that when you shop, you don't get as punished for it. Big Spender is like, when you shop, sometimes you'll dodge Jar of Blood. I think, realistically speaking, that's how Big Spender is going to play out most of the time. And yes, Joey, this is live. Nani. I hope you feel better soon, man. For real. Just kind of taking, like, a moment to say I hope you feel better soon, Joey. And so I'm pretty happy with how we've ranked these so far. And so now we get to go to the astrologian-looking thing. The, tarot reader. So stars are right. And premonition? Oh yeah, I gave premonition this image, that's right. Pain, agony even, suffering if you will. So, speaking of which, premonition is... it's bad. Okay, premonition is event options will display which stat will be tested against when selected. So, when you go into, say, like... trying to think of, like, an example off the top of my head that's a good example. The forest example, where you can, like, send Ryoko to her death. It would say, like, the left one would be a luck check, and then the middle one would be a strength check, right? And it would tell you that. It would say luck, and it would say strength. The temple, yeah, that's a good one. Like, it would tell you that the katana one is perception. And is getting +1 knowledge, is that a knowledge check or a strength check? I don't remember. And then the one on the... I'm thinking of the desert temple specifically, but the one on the right would be, like, luck for trying to get the money. I think that premonition is really good for someone who's just starting playing the game or doesn't know. But once you know, it's like, why would you spend 100 EXP on something? Actually, another thing that it would be good for, and this is generous. I think this is too generous. Modded events. You're playing a mod pack. You're probably only going to play the mod pack a couple of times. You're not going to learn the mod pack. It would essentially let you make educated choices on mod packs. It's bad for you, since you memorized everything, Mr. 100 Hours, lol. Lamau, the web said. Yeah, I think that premonition is, like... maybe it's not detrimental, because it does have a use, but it's not good. It's not good at all. Like, you want to know what... You want to know how to get premonition by not spending 100 EXP? It's called World of Horror Fan Wiki, right? Like, it's called wa.fandom.com, okay? Like, premonition is... It is what it is, alright? Like, it exists for a reason, and I can clearly understand that reason. But it's not that good. Now, stars are right, on the other hand. I like this one. I have no idea how good it is, but automatically pass all luck skill checks. I'm gonna put this in awesome, like the lower end of awesome, because there's not that many luck checks, alright? Like, I can actually check this, because there's a Steam guide that tells you how many checks there are. I can't remember what it's called, though. Is it called, is it the math guide? It might be? Wait, is it? Oh, yes it is. So there are 16 luck checks in the game. So by taking this one perk, you automatically pass 16 luck checks. Well, not really. But if you get one of those, for context, there are 17 strength checks and there are 17 strength checks? This changed last time I checked. But, like, the least amount of checks that there are for a stat is perception at 14. So 16 is about, like, I'm not gonna say the average, but I like this a lot, okay? Like, there are 16 luck checks in the game, and you can, if you take this perk, you automatically pass all of them. I like that. And assuming that it works on Ill-Fated, even better. I do need to catch up on chat real quick. In the desert, it's a strength check. Oh, it says, oh, really? Oops. Oh, wait, the one in the middle is a strength check, right? Also, there's no penalty whatsoever for passing the check. I think the katana is far better than a free knowledge, unless you're a Moriko, maybe. But if you already have the katana, I think you always venture further into the desert unless you need the money. Yeah. And that money is a luck check, I'm pretty sure. But the temple is a strength check, yeah. Thank you for the real-time fact check. But yeah, so I think that Stars Are Right is really cool. I like it a lot. And so next we have the inner... Oh god, we have the inner strength. So inner strength, and listen, I'm gonna put them both here just for now, but also just like, period. I mean, the name alone gives it value. Someone will probably make a modded event with a blue option to awaken Cthulhu. That would be pretty dope. Hello, Zeno. How are you doing? So, Predestined and Unrelenting are absolute trash for the most part. Okay, they have a use. They are great recovery perks. Because with them, you can potentially heal both stamina and reason. Or you can double up. So you could get 4 stamina on a level up or 4 reason on a level up. So they can save the game for sure. But they're not very good. Like, I would probably put them at the top of crap tier. Hi, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing alright. I'm absolutely living that we have, like, the new World of Horror perks announced. Right? Like, I'm very excited for the update. I can't wait. And now that we get to see where we get to see the new perks and how they work as custom perks, that's pretty dope. Or, like, custom character perks, I should say. The temple is a perception check. Venture into the desert is strength. Thank you, thank you. No word on the drop date yet, but I mean, listen, there's only like 10 more days in the month, so it is gonna be here soon, trademark. Allegedly. And I mean, Panstash posts like new info about it every day, and if you're gonna drop like every single, well, maybe not every single perk, but if you're gonna drop every single perk, including the new ones, on a Discord post, then that means that you're probably, like, gonna be soon. But I have no idea. Like, that's just blatant speculation. I have no idea. So yeah, Predestined and Unrelenting, just to put a lid on it. Plus, so, for the record, Predestined is +2 max reason, +2 reason. Unrelenting is +2 max stamina, +2 stamina. It's terrible, but it can save the game occasionally. Like, it's not something that you would take normally, but if you have a really, really bad start, then it could kind of help you. Kiwi does bring up a good point. Literally just lets you pick stamina or reason as a perk and get a stat point. It's like a worse, like, unless you're taking charisma as that stat point, it's like a worse generic perk, because you don't get a blue option. I'm going to elect to ignore your post. So, I mean, they're bad, but they do offer flexibility, and I think that, I mean, I think that if you're playing with all unlocked perks and you get one of them, you're probably, like, pretty upset. And, I mean, they also dilute the pool into getting, like, the final stretch perk or whatever it's called, like, the final leg of the journey perk, that gives you like +2/+2. So not only do Predestined and Unrelenting, like, they make they make your all perk deck worse, which is kind of hilarious. And so now we come to the final two perks. I wish to like Chris's post, but I have no like button. I'm in this specific circumstance, I'm glad that there is no comment like button. You could give him some Reddit gold, I suppose, though. And I don't actually know what Reddit gold is, I just know it's a thing. So Survival Instinct and Winging It. I love both of these perks, they're fantastic. So, Survival Instincts is you pass all event skill checks when your reason is lower than 3. This is hilarious and potentially completely busted. Like, think about it this way. You are doing a run, you get into doomed/dangerous location lethal range for a cadaver. Cadavers are everywhere. Like, you could still walk into a cadaver and die, but if you have, like, a spell, or the air location's not dangerous, like it's low or whatever, it's low or safe, you will automatically pass any check that you come into. If you combine this with, like, a... Ooh, you know what great synergy with this would be? If you have Void as either Ath Yelazath, or Void will deal enough damage to take you to 3 reason, you can Void, go into the other world, and potentially guarantee get the katana. That's kind of funny. It's completely busted with library notes, even without self-therapy. Yeah, no, it is... Actually, now that you say that, yes, it is. Like, it not only is that completely insane what you just said, but if you have any way to heal your reason, like if you get a memory extract or something, like, this is potentially, like, one of the most powerful perks in the game. Like, we gotta play with... We gotta have the perk first. We gotta have the perk first before we decide on whether this is the best perk in the game or not. But situationally, this is one of the strongest perks. And if this works on Ill-Fated, excuse my language here, but holy shit. Like, that would be insane. Like, just looking at Survival Instinct, you know it's an incredible perk. And the... Now, Winging It is interesting. And I'm gonna put this in cannot currently rank, because what it does... and this is a direct quote, all event skill checks have a negative modifier that makes them harder. Passing an event skill check grants extra experience. If this means that it's a... So there's a few things to ask. Does this stack with threat levels? Is this essentially every location is doomed? And again, if that is, does it stack with threat levels? I'm very conflicted on this perk, I'll be honest with you. Like, I think it has the potential. Winging It potentially has, like, some of the craziest potential in the game, especially when combined with Survival Instinct. You can potentially break the game. But we need to see how it interacts with threat levels, and we need to see how it, like... What does negative modifier mean in this context? Does it mean, like a threat level, that it adds to your dice roll? And, like, I just keep circling back to that. Like, it's circular logic, right? Like, I feel like I'm gonna have, like, an integer overflow and just crash if I keep thinking about winging it. And so there we have every new perk that was announced on the Discord. With Memory Extract, you basically just win because nearly all skill checks give EXP. Yeah, no, like, Survival Instinct and Winging It together are probably incredible, and if you combo that with, like, some way to heal, you're probably just gonna, like, steamroll through the game in a way that we've never seen before. But I definitely think both of these perks are very interesting and have potential to be absolutely insane. I mean, Survival Instinct just is insane, alright? Like, let's just be real here. Like, there's nothing else that I can say other than that. Like, it just has the potential to be stupid. They do come in a pack, so yes, they probably do synergize. But before I can rank Winging It, I just have to see how Winging It works. Okay. So now we move back to the vanilla perks. Vanilla perks. Why did I say it like that? These are gonna be vanilla perks as well. So, I have played almost 100 more hours since the last perk tier list. And so, here we go. We are gonna try to do this a little bit more quickly, I think, because we've kind of got, like, the important part out of the way. Okay, Discipline. I think Discipline is very good, and I will put it near the top of Awesome. The reason why, like, okay, I have come around on healing perks a lot. Like, I used to think the two best perks in the game were attack speed and damage. But I have now realized that the two best perk types in the game are attack speed and healing. So most of the healing perks are gonna go in Super Triple S Ghost Rare, just as a spoiler alert. However, Discipline remains an Awesome because skill checks are not something, well, unless you have a certain perk, skill checks are not something that can be guaranteed, and they essentially, well, I mean, skill checks are skill checks. They are a check, and you have a possibility of failing. Discipline still has really nice synergy in the Lighthouse, where you can potentially heal yourself with Discipline to a point where a failed skill check won't kill you. However, that's an incredibly niche thing, and more often than not, what I find with Discipline is that you will end up healing yourself out of desperation range and then fighting Takashi, which is clearly, like, that is entirely, like, just my own personal experience and has, like, no basis on anything. And probably shouldn't have any basis in the tier list, but it's just more often than not, that's kind of how Discipline plays for me. I think it's a great perk. I love to see it. But I don't think... I think it's probably the worst healing perk, just because, like, it contributes to the endless ways to get stamina, and it also is the only healing perk that I think is unreliable. But it's still really nice. Fast Swimmer, 15% extra attack speed. I mean, what do I need to say? It is absolutely incredible, and you genuinely do love to see it. When you're playing as Aiko, who already has faster attacks by default, it is even more ridiculous. But just faster combat actions, getting that faster brace for impact, getting that faster attacks, in the words of the best chess player, it just works. Hot bath, I need to take a look at the old tier list to kind of see where I'm putting these, but hot bath I think is a very good perk because it has I mean, think about it this way. It has 3 blue options, which all those blue options are great, by the way. And it completely counters fetid fumes. And if you don't get fetid fumes, then that's +3/+3 stamina and reason on demand. It's very good. I think that the more that I play the game, the more that I realize how good that actually is. Right? I think, okay, I have the old tier list. This is incredibly cursed. I took a picture of the old tier list so I could compare it to the new tier list, and I don't know where I saved that, but I never closed the snipping tool, so I still have the snip of the old tier list. So I'm looking at it right now. Where do we put Hot Bath? Hot Bath was in awesome. It was like middle ground awesome. I think that I was absolutely insane, and I definitely should have put Hot Bath higher. Like, it's probably one of the worst Super Triple S Ghost Rare perks, but, you know, that's like saying, like, what's your least favorite, like, freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! God card, right? Like, there's still the Yu-Gi-Oh! God cards. Running shoes, I'm gonna put at, like, running shoes at okay, like, the top of okay. I think that running is running in combat is a viable strategy for sure. But you would still rather get the kill, and essentially what this does is when you have to run, it makes running less bad, which is great. So, I mean, yeah, like, that's essentially what running shoes do. I wouldn't say that running shoes make it to where you can run more often. Well, I don't know, it's a little bit weird. I think that it's an okay perk that situationally can win you the game, but it is also completely countered by Kathak Otarasu. Now, moving on, we have Core Strength. I think Core Strength, so Core Strength is +1 damage, flat. I think I'll put it at the top of Awesome tier. And this is a departure from the old tier list because Core Strength was in Super Triple S Ghost Rare. The thing about it that I've kind of, like, eased off the brakes a bit with Core Strength is that +1 damage is nice, but I think that, like, most of the time, if you're using a good weapon, and you're taking good perks, and you're making good, like, if you're just winning the game, you don't really need it. I don't think, like, I don't think it changes that much, right? Like, it is very important, it's a very powerful perk, but I feel like if you're making decisions that, like I would rather take a healing perk or I would rather take an attack speed perk. Obviously, if you're playing Haru and you see Core Strength come up, it's like Haru's best perk, so you take it. But thinking about, like, just in general, I would rather see something like Fast Swimmer, I would rather see something like First Aid or Hot Bath. I think it's the best plus damage perk because it is just a flat +1 damage with no strings attached. And so it will work on all weapons, unlike, you know, something like Sharpening Stone, which will only work on Sharp, or, like, Second Sight, which only works on Eldritch enemies. I think that I'll get to... But 4 damage Steak Knife is what core strength is for. Exclusively on all perks, Steak Knife Haru is as bad or worse as Meat Cleaver Aiko. Can we get perk item to help my boy Haru quit cigarettes? No. In fact, Haru's Hard Knock perk is going to be a generic perk for the purposes... Well, not a generic perk. It is in a perk pack. So you can give someone Hard Knock, which is hilarious. But I'm assuming that they don't start with cigarettes unless there's a way to... I haven't looked at the full custom character thing yet. So I don't entirely know how that'll work. Forest combat, by the way. So I think that, yeah, core strength is good. I like it. I would rather have a healing perk, though. CQC training, it's bad. It's only good on Moriko, and I don't think that's... maybe it'll be good on bad stats, man, if he starts with, like, a semi-auto. But, you know, like, it's only good on Moriko because she's the only one with a gun that's worth a damn. And it's a Haru perk. So, it's bad. Like, I mean, like, you're gonna think I'm absolutely insane here. I think Predestined and Unrelenting are probably better, because I would rather pick +2 stamina, or +2 reason, and +2 stamina, over +1 damage for a weapon type that I'm never gonna use. Like, 90% of the time. Or on 90% of characters, I should say. Remember, Hard Knock is completely separate from nicotine withdrawal? I mean, that's true, but if you smunk, you get nicotine withdrawal when it's over, right? So, yes, you do get, like, you get Hard Knock as a perk, as a custom character. You smunk a cigarette, you're gonna get Nicotine Rush as well, which is very strong. Both Hard Knock and Nicotine Rush are a great combo. But once the cigarettes wear off, you get nicotine withdrawal, which permanently debuffs you for the rest of the game. So, I mean, we'll probably go over, like, custom character synergies and strategies when the thing actually comes out. I don't think there's a reason to rank them now. Irizumi! Close quarters combat? Irizumi, I've actually come around on quite a bit. Where did I put Irizumi last time? Irizumi, okay, I'm proud of Web from 100 hours ago. Irizumi was an awesome tier, and I'm gonna be honest. I think that it still belongs there. -1 to prices in shops is busted. That's just... It just is true, alright? Like, the fact that you can pick up, essentially... You can get pain meds or experimental treatment for 3 funds. That's great, that's fantastic. Like, that's pretty much the only use that Irizumi has. But it's a good reason. Also, it gives your character a cool tattoo, so obviously it's the best perk in the game. Yakuza card. +1 item in dog store. And removes illicit item tag. Yay. Congratulations, you can now sell the hunting rifle from Hunted by the Cult Hunter B. And you have one more item in the dog store that's not there because the dog left after your first mystery investigation. It's bad. There is a blue option for it, and that blue option is pretty nice, but eh. Second Sight, it's okay. It's okay. And this is what we used as the base for all of the new perks as the template. Yakuza card works in every shop except for the dog shop. Wait, what? I thought it was the exact opposite of that. I thought that when you went to the dog shop, it said Yakuza card. I guess the dog doesn't... I'm going for... What I said, even though it was wrong, is still true. What I said may be wrong, but Yakuza card is still bad. I have been dubbed the unreliable narrator, however. Anyway, second sight is bad. It's +1 damage against eldritch enemies. Who's an eldritch enemy? The couple and Akane at Violent Vigil. The horrible old man. Bosses. Akamanto is only eldritch if you do true form Akamanto. And doing true form Akamanto can be very difficult and is entirely reliant on RNG. It is usually better to do human form Akamanto. And there are more damage bonuses that stack against humans than there are against eldritch enemies, so typically speaking, human Akamanto is easier to kill. It is true that human Akamanto does -5, sometimes -6 stamina to you as a prerequisite to the fight, but you can usually work around that. And the alternative to doing true form Akamanto is refreshing the schoolyard, hoping to get the gossip that you may never get. We have historically had really, really bad luck with doing true form Akamanto, to the point where I just pretend it doesn't exist. I think the most realistic use of second sight, besides going for boss fights, the most useful part about second sight is the Drowner sponge gets slightly easier. Is the class of 1971 Eldritch as well? I guess second sight makes the seaside, like, slightly easier. And it does have a blue option. But it's okay. Like, Is it disrespectful to put Big Spender? Where did I put Second Sight the last time? Second Sight was in Awesome? Second Sight was in Awesome? Above Self-Therapy? Am I insane? I think that Second Sight is... Like, I'm gonna put Second Sight probably near the top of okay. But Second Sight was in Awesome? One of the worst damage perks was in Awesome? Now, you might be like, Second Sight does +1 damage against ghosts. Incredible. Amazing. An absolutely incredible perk. +1 damage against ghosts. Doesn't work on Sever Ties. Doesn't work on Offerings. Beautiful. Second Sight is... yeah, it's totally great. Self-Therapy. +2 reason recovered instead of +1 when you forget a spell. I like it a lot. +2 reason is really strong. And a lot of spells are absolute garbage. And some spells can be casted and then forgotten. With either no penalty, or you just can't cast the spell again, right? So, like, you get a ritual, you cast the ritual, you forget the ritual, +2 reason. That's pretty good. It can mitigate, Self-Therapy is just a very reliable perk, also has a blue option. So, and yes, the combination of Self-Therapy and Library Notes is very strong. Like, I don't know, I mean, it is busted, right? Like, it's not very strong, it's completely broken, because you can infinitely reroll until you get the best spells in the game, Flesh Regrowth, Memory Extract, Multiply Wound, and then you can just win, because Library Notes, for those who don't know, is an item that, by spending 2 reason, you can gain a random spell, and Self-Therapy, giving you 2 reason when you forget the spell, means that you can infinitely reroll until you get the spell that you want, which is great. It's incredible, even. I don't think... Like, because getting the Library Notes is kind of difficult, right? Like, I would say that 90% of the time, you're getting Library Notes from the cabinet in your apartment, and sometimes that's a water bottle or nothing. So I'm kind of thinking, maybe you want to put that in awesome. Maybe, oh, you were referring to its interaction with desperation? To be honest with you, I forgot about that. You can you can roll spells, set yourself into desperation, forget all the spells, and use desperation anyways. Alright, you know what? You know what, Kiwi, you've convinced me. It's awesome. It's a great perk. It's an awesome perk. It does require a little bit of setup, and so that's why it's not gonna go... It's gonna be the worst in awesome tier, because it requires setup. But if you get that setup, your chances of winning the game have skyrocketed. Arcane Grasp is terrible. It does have synergy with the aforementioned self-therapy, library notes combo. Arcane Grasp being +2 spells. +2 spell slots, not +2 spells. It doesn't give you spells. Most of the time, I have played 360 hours of World of Horror. Most of my runs, I would say like 90% of my runs, maybe even 95% of my runs, alright? I have never thought to myself, Arcane Grasp is useful. I can remember maybe about 3 or 4 times where I was thinking to myself, Arcane Grasp would be convenient. But no, Arcane Grasp is stinky, and it is not worth the 100 EXP that it's there for. Ghost Connection. Ghost Connection's a lot of fun. Very dependent on when you get it, but I will put it at the top of okay. Essentially, Ghost Connection is +1 spell at the end of every mystery. I like it. I don't think it's gonna... Like, here's the thing. Ghost Connection will sometimes win you the game, giving you, like, ancestral strength, or... You know, giving you like a Seal of Bramel, Seal of Savesh, something like that. Ancestral Strength Ritual, Memory Extract, Flesh Regrowth. It'll win you the game sometimes, but it won't win you the game all the time. And most of the time, it won't win you the game. Most of the time, it will give you freaking, like, Absorb, or that barrier that makes Eldritch monsters deal -1 damage. You know, it'll give you... Is that Absorb? I have no idea. You know, it'll give you a bad spell most of the time, but sometimes it'll give you a Midasu Touch. It's pretty good. Sometimes it will give you something that wins you the game. Sometimes it'll give you something that's good. Sometimes it'll give you something that's bad. It's a fun little dice roll that can potentially change how you play your run. I like it. I think it's okay. It's definitely worth the points if you get it early. And if I remember correctly, the Arcane Grasp blue option is awful? I don't remember. Like, we never take Arcane Grasp. We've probably only seen it, like, twice. So, no, I have no idea if it's awful or not. I genuinely don't remember what it does. I mean, it has the blue option. I know it does, but I don't remember what it does. That's kind of concerning. Next on the list, Improvise. Improvise is a fun one. I like Improvise. I would say that it's probably better than Second Sight, and Improvise is infinitely more useful against Akamanto. Oh, Jesus Christ! Mari the Otaku just subscribed. Is that what the zombie is? Is that what the zombie is? Does the zombie thank people for subscribing? What the hell? Jesus. Because we had a zombie earlier and I didn't see what it said. So I guess that meant somebody else subscribed and I didn't shout him out. But that was frightening. Because it's so loud. It's the default icon animation that Streamlabs provides when an alert happens. Yeah, that's just a basic Streamlabs notification. Okay, we don't see it very often. It just, like, we'll be streaming, like, Stalker, like, just random. I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. We'll be streaming Stalker randomly, and then it will just be, like, an incredibly loud noise, and I think I'll be getting jumped by some, like, horrifying monster. So, okay, where was I? Improvise. Improvise is bonus damage to throwing items and weapons. Turns the bandage into a weapon of mass destruction. Typically, when you throw a weapon, it does between, I would say, 2 and 4 damage. Usually 2 to 3, but some of them do 4. Taking Improvise turns them into, like, WMDs. You can essentially, like, throw, like, a fire axe, and it will do 6 damage or something crazy like that, right? If you have a bottle of sludge, then congratulations, you do just have, like, you've gotten 25 kills in Modern Warfare, you have a tactical nuke incoming. Because, yeah, like, like, Improvise is hilarious. If you have a bottle of sludge, if you have weapons, if you fight Stockchan, or if you fight Stockchan, you get a branch, you fight the Young Witch, you get a steak knife, you fight, I'm just thinking, like, enemies that can drop things that you can yeet. You fight the Lumpy Officer, you get a police revolver. You steal the gun from 410 billion. The most common thing that I can think of is Cultist Hunter B dropping a hunting rifle. Right? That'll do about, like, 5 damage when you throw it. And so, Improvise is funny, but Improvise plus Cursed Cartridge is really funny. I have never tried that. I have actually never tried that before, and I want to. Like, because they both give bonus damage, that sounds hilarious. So, Improvise is hilarious, right? Like, Improvise is one of, Improvise is one of my favorite perks in the game, and you can meme your way through fights, right? Like, oh, God help you, if you get a Burning Man, and you somehow glitch the game into giving you, like, 5 inventory slots, and you have just, like, you walk into Akamanto with 5 broken bottles, it's one of the funniest things you can do in the game. So, I like Improvise. I'm gonna actually put it, like, if this was a tier list about how fun the perks are to use, Improvise would be triple S Ghost Rare. But I think it's, like, where did I put Improvise last time? I think it's at the top of okay. Because, like, the problem with Improvise is its effect, right? It gives bonus damage to items that you throw. So you have to have an item that you're willing to throw, and then, like, you have to have an item that you're willing to throw. That's the biggest problem. And you're not going to have that every game. Although sometimes you will have... Sometimes when... Like, if you have the compass, or you got a less desirable mask, like you got the Kurikosa mask or something like that, Improvise basically just gives you bonus damage, because you can throw both of them. Like, if it's near the end of the game, you can throw your compass. If you got, like, a bad mask from the headless mannequin, then you can throw that. There's a lot of good uses for Improvise, and you'll probably have a use for it, but you really can only confidently take it if you're walking around with, like, 3 or 4 things that you're willing to just, like, throw at the first boss that you see. And if you do, it's funny. Okay, I remembered. In the Psych Ward, it turns Branded Like Cattle into -2 Doom, and in the Seaside event is 20 EXP and +2 Doom. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Like, that's the best thing about Arcane Grasp. If I believe that's what you're referring to. That is the best thing about Arcane Grasp. If it's oh yeah, like the Cold Front, right? Where you have to, like, brace against the frost attack. Yeah. So for sure, like, the best thing about Arcane Grasp is its blue options. Which is probably the only reason why you take it. You still probably don't take it, though. Reporter's Bag is... like, listen, I know we're memeing about Improvise, Cursed Cartridge, and Reporter's Bag. I don't think Reporter's Bag is very good. Especially considering that in, like, the last 5 or so episodes we've done, for some reason, we've gotten, like, you know, 5 inventory slots, which I have no idea why or how, but we've gotten them without Reporter's Bag. I think that when that bug gets fixed and you stay at 4 inventory slots all the time, maybe you could take Reporter's Bag, but unless you're doing Improvise and maybe Cursed Cartridge if you want to live a little, I think, generally speaking, Reporter's Bag is pretty bad. Inventory management is not hard. And most of the time, you're not going to have items that are going to be taking up. You're not going to be carrying around 4 items that you want to have in your inventory at all times in, like, 80% of your runs. So I think that just generally speaking, like, I mean, I can't imagine wanting to carry around 5 items most of the time. Like, unless you got Burning Ghost or Doll Nurse. Or Burning Man, sorry. Or Doll Nurse. Both of those you could want Reporter's Bag and Improvise. But I wouldn't really say that Reporter's Bag is that great otherwise. Deduction, absolutely fantastic perk. I think I got a little bit of pushback the last time I put this in Super Triple S Ghost Rare. But I stand by it. I think that this is sort of like an accuracy gaining machine. And it helps out a lot, right? Like it does. It genuinely provides you... I believe it's 20. It's been a while since we've used it, admittedly. But I'm going to double check. Yes, it gives you plus 20 EXP at the end of a mystery. Obviously, you've got to get it early. And if you don't get it early, then it's going to be terrible. But it helps you boost your accuracy as quickly as possible. Getting a total of 50 EXP at the end of every mystery is insane. And with the side quest, that means you get 65 EXP at the end of every mystery. That's really good. Deduction... I think deduction is just really strong. It helps you level up faster. And I think that to some extent, it falls off because eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to have 100% or more accuracy against every enemy, and some enemies have bad accuracy, and so that might be pretty quickly. I still think it's a fun perk, and I think that any perk that lets you level up faster that is actually good, I think is genuinely pretty good. So getting 50 XP instead of 30 is pretty fun. Is that the Reporter's Dude perk? Yes, it is Koichi Tagawa's perk. Thank you for knowing him. Thank you for thank you for knowing him, definitely. Koichi, like, listen, Joey, Koichi's one of the best characters in the game, right? Like, you give a monkey wrench to Koichi and he will not monkey around. Although both Improvise and Reporter's Bag are not that good in the grand scheme of things. Although the idea of a sludge bottle dealing 12 damage is hilarious. Okay, Fast Hands. I was asked recently that in the new update of enemies having weaknesses and weapon types having benefits, is Fast Hands gonna be better? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna put it in cannot currently rank. I think that in the current patch of the game, Fast Hands is terrible. Inventory management is not hard, and the only time it comes in handy is if you are in a situation where you are trying to equip an item, but either through the menu, you click through to the event, and so you're in the fight and you can't change your equipment, or if you're in a situation where you gain an item and then it immediately puts you into another event where you can't swap into that item, and that's annoying. I think, that, just generally speaking, Fast Hands is not that good. Wait, hold on. This is... if you set up your turn and then throw your weapon, you still do damage as if you still have your weapon equipped. Dear God. That deserves a sip of lemonade, because I'm dying over here. You can't do this to me. Yes, what? No, that is a certified -2 reason moment. I almost put down an entire mug of lemonade because of that statement, Huey. What cursed knowledge have you brought upon this land? Takashi-san just did get slightly easier to deal with consistently with his revelation. I've already recorded today's episode hastily before this video, or before this, it's a video definitely, before this live stream. So I can't try it tonight, but I will definitely try it on tomorrow's episode. So now, moving on to the Miku perks. Adrenaline, absolute banger. It does literally the exact same thing that Fast Swimmer does at plus 15% action speed. I can't, there's not really much more than I can add. Both of them are fantastic. Both of them are the same perk. They're both great. Doomed Already, I love a lot, because essentially getting +1 Doom for failing a skill check, it makes it to where when you fail, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal at all when you fail, because let's say you hit like a minus reason, well, instead of taking -2 reason, you only take -1 reason. Instead of, maybe you lose 2 stamina, but then you gain +1 reason, which is a combat action. And so you can kind of game the system a little bit with Doomed Already, to some extent, because there's always a chance that you roll low and succeed, but it helps out a lot. It's not, like, I used to think that you want to get this as early as possible on Miku, and if you get it in the late game, it's not as helpful. On Harbinger of Doom, where you're walking around, right, like, you're walking around on Harbinger of Doom, you're gonna have, like, a -2 to all of your skill checks anyways, which is really a +2, but let's not get crazy here, alright? I think that, like, I'm looking at it, and it's like, it's always gonna be relevant to some extent, and for some reason you just pop off in the lighthouse, and it kind of has a similar problem to Discipline, where sometimes you overheal and dodge Desperation on Takashi, or sometimes you save yourself from imminent death. Doomed Already is fantastic. Great perk. Love it. I'm gonna put it, I don't know if it's above Hot Bath, because it doesn't have a blue option, so I'll put it below Hot Bath on the tier. Looting. Oh yeah, also one thing we have to currently mention, Adrenaline is actually better than Fast Swimmer, because Adrenaline is bugged to where when you take Adrenaline, it's like taking Looting. So you get +1 fund whenever you kill an enemy, which is hilarious. So I'm pretty sure that's a bug. I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be a thing. But yes, Adrenaline is better than Fast Swimmer purely because of a weird interaction. Looting, I like Looting a lot. Don't take that out of context. It's a good perk, and I'm gonna put it better than Haunting Dreams. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it better than Haunting Dreams. Well, actually, that means that it would have to be better than Daddy's Girl as well. So maybe I'll put it in the middle. Where did I put it last time? Where did I put Looting the last time? Behind Daddy's Girl. Which, I mean, yeah, it's pretty fun. Looting is basically, you get +1 funds when you kill an enemy, which is what I don't think Adrenaline is supposed to do that, but it does. And yes, they both do stack, so you can get +2 funds from each enemy, which can get you some really absurd things like +16 funds on Miku. But looting is, I mean, it's a fantastic perk. It really is. Because essentially what it means is, it means that you'll never be bothered by the humble jar salesman again after 4 fights, or 2 fights if you have both Adrenaline and looting. After 4 fights, you can get +4 to stamina or reason, which is fantastic. If you combo it with Irizumi, it gets even better, because then it's 3 fights or whatever, you know. I think generally, it does have a blue option as well, which gives you money, which is very nice. Looting is probably one of the most thematic perks in the game. Because you walk into a haunted baseball field, and you can either do a perception check to destroy an evil ward and get minus doom, or you can use looting to steal somebody's backpack and take their money, which is really funny. So Miku definitely has like 2 great perks and 2 bad perks. Miku only has 3 perks. So, Jesse, what the hell are you talking about? I'm ribbing, like, I'm giving chat a hard time specifically because it is my podcast co-host. But, Miku only has 3 perks, and all of them are amazing. Like, you really can't go wrong. Adrenaline is one of the best attack speed perks in the game. Doomed already is a fantastic healing perk. And looting is kind of a healing perk because it prevents you from taking Jar of Blood damage, and it can facilitate the purchasing of drugs. There's no real other way to say it than that. Pickpocket. Oh, wait, no, she does have a perk. Wait, she does. Wait, is pickpocket. Wait. Oh, God, did I just walk into the meme? Does she only. Is pickpocket a Miku perk? Hold on. Is pickpocketing a Miku perk? Oh, no. Oh, God, it is. Oh, no. She does have 4 perks. Oh, no. It's. Listen, pickpocket is... I'm borderline... I'm borderline here putting it, like, freaking... Like, what does it do? Like, sometimes you get a police revolver, the freaking, the stream delay is gonna send Joey through an emotional roller coaster. Like, pickpocket, like, it literally sometimes gets you a police revolver. Like, who has a chance of dropping things, right? Like, is it only Lumpy Officer? Like, there's gotta be somebody else who has a chance of dropping something, right? Like, it doesn't even get you bullets for Lumpy Officer either, right? It just gives you the police revolver to throw? Like, where did I put this the last time? I put it in detrimental. I put it in detrimental. I'm not gonna put it in detrimental, but I will put Fast Learner. Because Fast Learner is bad. 1-to-1 ratio of recovering... or of gaining EXP when you take damage. It is Police Revolver and possibly one other enemy? See, that's exactly what I think it is. And I'm being driven crazy over here because I have no idea what it is. So we're just gonna leave Pickpocket as, like, the worst beneficial quote-unquote perk in the game. Fast Learner is terrible. You take 1 stamina damage, gives you 1 EXP. You take 1 all damage, you get 2 EXP. For every point of damage in combat you take, you get like in a 1-to-1 ratio of EXP. So you take 3 damage, you get 3 EXP, etc., etc. I don't know if it works with Kermit and Paranoia. Like, if you're paranoid and then you take I get Kermit and Paranoid confused a lot. I'm pretty sure Kermit is you take reason damage, you can be dealt stamina damage, and Paranoia is you take stamina damage, you can be dealt reason damage. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So let's say that you're Paranoid, you get hit with like 1 stamina, and then you take 1 reason. I don't know if Fast Learner will proc there and give you 2 EXP. It's terrible, you don't want to take this. It's bad. It doesn't meaningfully help you. You want to end combat in like 2 turns most of the time. Like 1 to 2 turns most of the time. I mean, with the way that the game currently works, assuming dog gets fixed, pickpocket is equal to dog. Well, listen, dog is obviously triple S tier because dog is a dog, but dog's effect is not very good because it's just moral support. Well, actually, no. Listen, pickpocket is not equal to dog because dog can give you 4% attack speed. I rest my case. Yeah, Fast Learner is bad. It's terrible. Don't take it. Getting hit for, like, the best thing that could happen is if you get hit and you take a lot of damage, and then what? You get, like, 4 EXP? No. It's not good. It's not good on boss fights. It's not good on regular fights. It's not good on any fight. It's bad. It has not... We've tried to take it before. Never really worked out for us at all. Anatomy class. Anatomy class is fun. I will put it in awesome. And I will put it probably... I want to see where I put it last time, just real quick. Okay, art really is imitating life, because this is literally, like, almost exactly where I put it last time. Like, the only thing that's different is that anatomy class used to be separated from Irizumi by discipline, which I've moved up in the tier list. I think anatomy class is probably the second best. Well, third best. Anatomy class is the third best damage bonus in the game. Humans are a very common enemy type, and a lot of dangerous enemies are humans. Akamanto human form, obsessed man, aspiring model, young witch, all of those enemies. Like, obsessed man and aspiring model are probably the 2 most important ones because they double their damage after turn 1. I'm pretty sure they're the only enemies in the game that do that, question mark? So, I value anatomy class a lot, and it also works on all of the cultist hunters as well, so that can be even more beneficial if you are... I was gonna mention Dog's interaction with Oteru, but then I remembered that unlike Kana, Dog is not an old god. I mean, not with that attitude. I mean, those dogs are up to something. I mean, obviously I trust them because they are good boys, but they are up to something. First aid, I put this at the top of awesome tier last time, and I was absolutely insane to do so, because, like, I mean, let's be real here. +2 reason when you defeat an enemy is GOAT. It's goated, alright? It is the greatest of all time. It is certified mythic rare. When you pull first aid in a pack of cards, the innkeeper goes, legendary! Golden! You like to see first aid. First aid is fantastic. It's very good. And that's the Mimi perks, right? Because Mimi only has 3 perks. That's correct. So, yeah, first aid's great. I like first aid a lot. It's fantastic. Signed contract is okay. We're on to the Mizuki perks now. It gives you funds after completing a mystery. How many funds? I don't know, like 2, I think? I'm gonna look this up on the WoW Wiki. The WoW Wiki does not say. They do not care as much. They care as much as I do. Signed contract, and that's, I mean, that's a rude thing to say. Signed contract, the best thing that it does, I mean, listen, looting and signed contract are kind of similar. Where did I put it last? I put it in okay as well. Signed contract, I think it's better than Big Spender, for sure. This does, like, meaningfully help you buy healing items. But I think looting is more versatile. And we take looting a lot more than we do signed contract. Because signed contract only works... Yeah, I think it's on the lower end of be okay for certain. Like, the problem... Okay, the problem with signed contract, and now I feel like a YouTube cartoon commentator. The problem with signed contract is that it only works at the end of the mystery, and sometimes that could kind of screw you over. If you're trying to buy something at the dog shop, for instance, the dog could leave before signed contract procs. If you're trying to buy something from the hospital, that's a different story, and that's usually what signed contract is good for. I mean, yeah, like it helps you get some money here and there, and it does pretty perfectly. I mean, not perfectly, but it counteracts Jar of Blood, man. All right. I think that generally speaking, it's fine. It's not great. It's not awesome. It's not crap. It's fine. It's like the most middling perk you could probably have. I have no strong feelings one way or the other. Parting Gift. Parting Gift is interesting. Why signed contract sucks, and what you should do about it with Anime Chibi Morn. Parting Gift is a fun perk to use. Now, where did I put it last time? I think I put it in okay, which I'm actually, like, relatively happy with. Parting Gift is interesting in a lot of ways, and it only really has one major use, in my opinion. And that is helping Mizuki clear the lighthouse. Because Mizuki's stats are not the best, and so by getting rid of an ally, let's say they have a stat that you don't need for the lighthouse, like they're giving you +1 perception, that's not contributing anything to the end game. You can let them go, and you can maybe get +1 strength, maybe +1 dex, maybe +1 knowledge, maybe +1 charisma, although you don't need that, so it's bad. Maybe +1 luck if you're really unlucky. So really, Parting Gift is for YOLOing your... essentially, it's for YOLOing your allies away for not temporary, but permanent gain and benefit. It's just that you can't control it, and yeah, that's about it. You can't control it. It does have some interesting possibilities with, let's say you have a starting ally like Hermit, or Asato, or... oh, what's that one guy? Yoichi? Is it Yoichi? Let's say that you have one of those three as your starting ally. You can let them go. You can get +1 stat. You can go to the schoolyard. You can get some of the allies there. And then you can let those allies go if they have minus effects, and then you can get stats from them, and then you can you can let 2 of them go. You can recruit the other 3, and then congratulations, you have a waiting 12% for fame. And Yoichi knows the loopholes, that's right. So you can potentially get, like, +3 to your random, like, you can get +3 stat points randomly assigned. But I think that the problem with that is that it's just, like, that's the literal best case scenario, and that's not gonna happen all the time, and it's completely countered by paranoia. If you get paranoid, then Parting Gift loses all functionality for the rest of the run. So, yes, Parting Gift can help you, but it's completely countered by a curse, which you can get a curse at any time, and among other things, there's just... Like, I think you would rather just have the allies. Like, literally the only thing I can think of with Parting Gift having general use is you go to the schoolyard, you get some allies, a couple of them give you minus stats, and so you let them go, and then you get the other allies by, like, waiting for later or whatever. And so then you have 3 allies, and you have, like, +2 to your stats randomly. It's okay, and it's fun, but it's not really a relevant Mizuki build, if that makes sense. Like, it's not... Like, you can do a Parting Gift build, but it's not as strong or consistent as a Fame build, and Fame in itself is an inconsistent build to some extent. Occult Signs potentially has the... I mean, listen, Goddess Mizuki, infinite EXP, what can you say, right? Like, infinite EXP, Goddess Mizuki, infinite stats, it is what it is, right? In reality, though, unless you want to spend, like, an hour clicking repeatedly, it's okay, like... And by that, I mean, I put it in crap tier originally. I think that the problem with Occult Signs, and what you should do about it, is that there are certain spells that you're gonna cast, and you can cast those spells. Like, Occult Signs makes Memory Extract way better, I think. Theoretically. I don't really... We've had it before, and it was fun. But really, like... I think, like, let's put Occult Signs as, like, the best of the crappy perks, alright? Like, it's not great. It's not okay. But you can use it to completely break the game and have, like, theoretically beat Ill-Fated, which I don't think anybody's done yet. I've been tempted to try it, though. And honestly, if Panstash patches Occult Signs, then maybe I have missed my opportunity to do it. Now, Fame is interesting, okay? I still think that Fame is an incredible perk. But I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and that definitely doesn't mean that we played Mizuki for today's episode. Fame is... Like, first of all, allies, for the most part... How do I put it? Allies, for the most part, don't do anything, right? They're pretty not great. Like, the only allies that I can think of that make, like, a meaningful effect on your game is, like, Ryoko, Kyoko, Iwa. If Attack Dog worked, maybe? You know, something like that, right? Kana as well. Kana is also, also, I have no idea what the hell is going on in here. But, you know, like, what are you doing in there, chat? What does -3- mean? But, you know, like, the problem with Fame is allies aren't very good, for the most part. They require a lot of resources to get, unless you get Fear Festival, and you need to live until you get Fame, which is not something that happens all the time. I think Fame is fun, and also by default, by the way, Mizuki can guarantee get 3 allies. That's 12% attack speed, because Fame is, for every ally you have, get 4% attack speed. So, potentially, Fame is the best attack speed perk in the game, but most of the time, I would say that is probably in between Adrenaline and Fast Swimmer, right? Like, Adrenaline is good because it gives you money, and Fast Swimmer is good because it's a flat 15%. Fame is a flat 12% normally, but it has the possibility of outscaling both of them easily if you get lucky, I suppose. But, I mean, most of the game is luck. But 12% attack speed is already pretty fine as it is, so I would say that probably Fame is, like, middle of the ground between two of the best perks in the game. Deft Handling. I'm interested, I'm looking back at the tier list. I put Deft Handling above Fast Swimmer the last time. And listen, Deft Handling, when you are playing Moriko, is ridiculously good. The problem is, though, on every other character, Deft Handling is trash. Because you're not using guns. Maybe if Bad Statman starts with the semi-auto, then maybe Deft Handling would be good on him. But we're taking a more general look at perks, I would say, for this episode. And I like it. And it is 20%. Fast Swimmer and Adrenaline are 15%. Deft Handling is 20%. I mean, I think that because of how it works... Like, here's the thing. If you're watching this video in the future, and you're making your own custom character, and you're like, oh, I need to figure out what perks I should put on my custom character, Deft Handling is probably pretty bad, right? Because unless you can give your custom character a gun, and that gun is worth a damn for actually, like, beating people to death with, it's probably not that good. But, you know, I mean, maybe it could work. Like, I don't know, dude. I think that... I mean, we'll put it up here. Like, it's an attack speed perk, and it's really... Like, on Moriko, it's disgusting. Like, on Moriko, Deft Handling is gross. But it is not... I would say that Deft Handling would be, like, CQC training on every other character, right? So... I mean, we'll put it in, like, the Moriko tier, because it's a Moriko perk and it's busted. But, Ammo Stash, okay. Ammo Stash is a good perk. Is it okay, or is it awesome? I would say that Ammo Stash is probably... I would put it worse than Quick Shopper, to be honest with you. Because I like Quick Shopper a lot. I kind of want to bump Quick Shopper up on the tier list. Like, I think it'll potentially be really good. But I'll curb my enthusiasm for it right now. I think that, Ammo Stash is interesting because it helps you get through certain fights that you wouldn't normally be able to get through. Like, it's a good, like... As Moriko, your bullets are a good stopgap. As anyone else, you're not using a gun. So I think that if you're not playing Moriko, Ammo Stash is a bad perk. If you're playing Moriko, Ammo Stash is a good perk that essentially lets you bypass certain fights for being a little bit too difficult at the cost of other fights being a little harder. But by getting more ammo, by getting more ammo, you can essentially bypass that a little bit, because I mean your gunshots are going to be a little slower, but you'll still be able to shoot because you're getting ammo consistently. You could be Revolver Haru, but he doesn't really shoot, does he? I mean, if you're rocking CQC training, then you're probably not gonna be... Like, no, you're probably not shooting most of the time. I mean, it's like 9 damage, right? The revolver is 9 damage, and it takes way too long to shoot. And accuracy scales differently with guns, if I recall correctly. Because accuracy is weird with guns. Like, sometimes it feels right, sometimes it feels wrong, but... There's probably a more detailed explanation from that. I'm gonna leave Ammo Stash here and awesome. We've had some great runs with it. We've had some runs where it didn't do anything because we never needed to shoot. Because the thing is, when you're playing Moriko, you get deft handling, and you just beat people to death, right? Like, it's not hard, it's not complicated. You just, you know, you run out of ammo, and then you just you start. Anything's a melee weapon if you're brave enough. Daddy's Girl, it's going right next to Haunted Dreams, but Haunting Dreams is actually going to be higher than Daddy's Girl on the Haunting Dreams, assuming that it is the reason equivalent to Daddy's Girl, is certainly better because there are more things that regenerate stamina than there are that generate reason. So I like Daddy's Girl a lot. I think it's a great perk. Getting +2 stamina at the end of a mystery, it counteracts holes. It essentially... I mean, it counteracts holes. It gives you great healing. It can save you in the lighthouse. Well, it can save you from dying to the lighthouse. And, I mean, honestly, just +2... Healing at the end of a mystery is really nice. And even though it's, like, stamina, which is, you know, you have multiple ways of stamina, those ways aren't infinite. You don't have infinite Witch's Tree, alright? So sometimes a little awkward thing can happen and you need a little stamina boost, and that's, there you go. It's quite alright. Stealth. Stealth. +10 EXP for running away from combat. What in God's name is this perk? Like, old Webweaver put this in crap. I think old Webweaver was, like, absolutely insane. Like, yes, you would like to get a resource. If you're gonna run away, you would like some benefit for it, but think about it this way. Running shoes is good because it decreases the penalty for stealth. I just, like, you're still spending, like, walk it with me here, alright? 5% Doom for 10 EXP is trash. It gets completely invalidated by an old god, and you've never seen the Yashiro stealth perk. It's a funny, it's a great perk, like, aesthetically, because he's hiding behind the newspaper and he's, like, incognito mode with the sunglasses. It's a garbage perk, though. You don't want to be spending +10... You don't want to be spending 100... You don't want to be spending 100 Doom for... I think... Hold on, I need to... So, my chat is cut off, so I have to open... I have to open my phone to actually read chat, because the YouTube chat is cut in half, and then the Streamlabs chat is cut in half as well. So I can only see that somebody posted a comment and, like, the left half of their comment. I can't actually read their comment. I think you tried stealth at one point in one video. I think it was an all perks run, but the problem with stealth is that most combat gives you more than 10 EXP. Yes, the only combat that does not give you more than 10 EXP off the top of my head is ghosts. And most ghosts drop corpse dust when you kill them, which is +20 EXP. So you're potentially looking at 28 EXP versus 18 EXP. Or, sorry, you're potentially looking at 28 EXP versus 10 EXP. So, because you always do corpse dust. Which, I mean, even thinking of it right now, like, using the stars it's the stars are right? Where you pass all luck checks automatically. That makes corpse dust even stronger, which is very funny. So, yeah, like, you would just rather... You would just rather, like, either fight... Like, you want to fight most of the time if you can, and if you can't fight, you just bite the bullet, eat the 5% Doom, and if you're having to bite the bullet a lot, running shoes or small candles the way to go. You don't need EXP. Like, I think stealth, like, promotes... But what about stealth running shoes speedrun? Stealth is good if you're trying to do pacifist run. All right, I'll give you that. But you don't need it. Like, I think it promotes a bad, like... I mean, it doesn't promote a bad playstyle. That's insane to say, but it's a bad perk. My weird collection. Also, can you freaking, are you feeling the hype? This is school combat. Not something you probably want to say out loud. But, yeah. So, my weird collection is a very fun perk, and I will put it... Okay, so here's the thing. I've kind of come around on my weird collection a little bit. So first of all, what my weird collection does is it can give you any occult item, I believe? Is that the tag? I want to make sure. Yes, it can give you any occult item, and occult items can be, you know, Occult Diary, Gruesome Totem, both Doom Reduction items, and I think, if I'm correct, it could even give you... Oh, no, the Eldritch Amulet is magic? Oh, man, what the heck? How dare you? But anyways, occult items are still fine. Occult Diary... Wait, hold on. Sewing Kit Hair is an occult item? And then black hair is also an occult item as well, right? So being able to YOLO... yeah. So black hair is also an occult item. So being able to get a Sewing Kit Hair, black hair, Cursed Doll, Gruesome Totem... Apparently Ritual Mask Pumpkin is an occult item too. I don't think I've ever seen that, though. So, like, I'm looking at the occult item list. I actually, like it a lot. And here's the thing. Let's say that you get one of the less desirable items, like the Rock Ring or the Patina Ring, which +1 strength for Rock Ring, +1 dexterity for Patina Ring, right? Let's say that you get that. If you don't have, like, if you don't have Akamanto, or you don't need the -10% Doom from Akamanto, then you could potentially clutch the Lighthouse with one of these, which is a little bit of a niche... It's a little bit of a niche situation, I'll admit, but I think that it's much better than Ghost Connection, because most of the occult items are... Okay, listen, you could get Ritual Robe. You could get Ritual Robe. Ritual Robe is terrible, but if you get pretty much... Like, at the worst, it's +1 funds. Sometimes it's +2 funds, because occult items can be more valuable. And, you know, other than that, that's pretty strong. So, yeah, there are some items that are terrible, like Ritual Robe. Ritual Robe is awful. I'm pretty sure you can get Small Candle as well. A small candle, an occult item. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sorry. Hold on. I typed in small into the World of Horror wiki, and the first thing that came up was Small Cocoon. I'm pretty sure this is just the spider... Okay, it's the spider event. Alright. I'll give you the nice ring. Okay. It's just the Katako Tarasu event. Alright, false. It's what I thought it was. Next event, Art Therapy. Lamau. Chris is the hero of the people. But you know what's not the hero of the people? Zeal. Zeal is... I mean, Zeal's pretty good. I think I would probably put it above Anatomy class, but I don't think being an awesome category makes you the hero of the people. Zeal is -4 max reason, -4 max stamina, for +1 combat damage. Very nice. It is universal. So that probably makes it, like... Is it better than Sharpening Stone? Maybe? but if it was, then I'd have to bring Sharpening Stone down to, like, where Anatomy class is. And you know what? Sure, we will. Sharpening Stone's better than Anatomy class, though, because I stand by the steak knife strat. Oh my god. But 4 damage steak knife is what Zeal is for. You're right. I can't believe it. But yeah, Zeal is fine. Zeal is a good Yashiro perk. Certified good Yashiro perk. Another certified good Yashiro perk is On Your Own, which is also going to be an awesome tier. And honestly, I think it might be a little higher than Zeal. I think it... I'm going to put On Your Own higher than Irizumi, I think, for sure. Yeah, and I'm going to move Irizumi, like, down to where Quick Shopper is. I think some of these are getting, like, reshuffled where they probably shouldn't be. I'm going to move Stars Are Right up, because I think Stars Are Right automatically passing all luck checks. Luck checks have great results, right? Like, luck checks have great benefits. But passing the Lighthouse is what On Your Own is for. You're right. And On Your Own is good. I think +1 to all stats when you don't have allies. The only time On Your Own doesn't really work is when you have Kana. Every other ally is temporary. Mayhem enters chat. You're not wrong. But yeah, no, I like On Your Own. +1 to all stats. For the downside of not being able to have allies while you have the benefit active, is not that bad. And I mean, here's the thing. You can temporarily take an ally and then let them go later, or if you become paranoid, you can bank Reason with them. It's a versatile perk. And I like it. I like it a lot. Now we get to go to the neutral perks. The neutral perks, which are much more boring. There's not much to say about them, particularly. Art Knowledge is probably the worst. Well, actually, no. That's wrong. Art Knowledge is fine. There's quite a few perception checks in the game. Do I still have the guide picked up? Yeah, I do. There are 14 perception checks in the game. That is actually the second lowest stat check in the game. The only thing lower is 12 dexterity checks. Art Knowledge has I'm gonna put Art Knowledge higher than Parting Gift, though. Like, let's be real. I'll probably put Art Knowledge higher than Sign, Contract, and Big Spender. +1 Perception isn't that good unless you're playing Moriko, in which case it's great. And it can free your level up for other things. And if you're going to the school a lot, you're probably going to need Art Knowledge to dodge some stamina damage, which can be very helpful. Folklore Studies is... I've actually... Like, let me see where I ranked Folklore... Folklore Studies was originally ranked in Awesome tier. I think I've kind of come around. I think Folklore Studies is going to be, like, near the top of okay, but not... I like... You know, I'm looking over okay right now. I think My Weird Collection is probably better than Improvise. I'm sorry for the sacrilege. Also, wait, are there more luck checks than dex checks? Yes, there are 6... Like, we talked about it earlier when we were talking about Stars Are Right. There are 16 luck checks in the game, and that is tied for second most in the game. So, Strength and Charisma have the most checks at 17, and then second place is Knowledge and Luck that have 16. Then third place is Perception at 4, and then we have Item checks, which there are 13 of, and then we have 12 Dexterity checks. So, yes, Dexterity has the least amount of checks in the game, and Luck has the second most. So that's why I think that potentially Stars Are Right is a real Pog ability, if you will. So, like, I'm looking at okay. I think that, like, so the thing about folklore studies is that you don't go to the village that often, right? Like, I've been thinking about it a lot recently. Like, when we get, like, 3 neutral perks and I'm deciding which one to take, you don't really go to the village that much. Like, you just don't. I think the village might be one of the, like, the least visited locations that we personally do on the channel, because you don't really need to go there unless it's for a side quest. And I mean, even in Fear Festival, which is the out-of-town mystery that locks you in the village, quote unquote, the problem with it is that you can avoid the village completely in Fear Festival. So I actually think that the blue option from Folklore Studies isn't all that important. And as my personal meta has shifted more towards strength and away from knowledge, I've been taking Folklore Studies less and less. I still think it's a perfectly viable perk, though. It's just that I'm rating it lower because the blue option is less important for me personally. Leadership is a bad perk. I will put it near the top of crap. I think, honestly, Predestined and Unrelenting, the +2 reason and +2 stamina, I think leadership is better. Or I think leadership is worse than both of them. I think they're both better. Because leadership gives you exactly +1 charisma. That is it. That is all it does. Completely. That's it. There's no blue option for leadership as of this current patch. And +1 charisma is not very good. I didn't realize that there were that many luck checks. I guess you usually avoid them. Yes, it is true. Luck is, like, luck starts at, like, 6, but for some reason the game rolls it as 5, so it's kind of weird. And so we usually just, like, there are some luck checks that we always opt into, like reading the mail, because the worst outcome in reading the mail is -2 funds. And, you know, that's not a big deal at all. Like, probably the second worst outcome is something truly evil. And then the other one is +2 funds if you get the stat check right. I didn't realize that there were that many luck checks either. The one I usually come across is the dog, and I always fail it. Yes, that is true. The dog in the forest that's trapped, that is a luck check. And yeah, we usually fail it too, to be honest with you. We usually do. And yeah, that's probably, like, the second most common one. Like, the most common one for me is you go to the apartments, you get mail, you check the mail, surprise bills, -2 funds. Like, that's the most common luck check for me. But there are a lot of luck checks, and some of them are really good, right? Like, being able to get, like, what is it, 4 funds from the desert is very strong, in case you need, like, an emergency heal. So, yeah, what were we talking about? Folklore studies? Yeah, something like that. Oh no, we were talking about leadership. Leadership being terrible. Leadership really should increase the ally cap. So, the only ally cap is for the school followers, the schoolyard. You can only recruit them up to your 3, and after 3, you can't recruit any more schoolyard allies. But there is no ally cap generally in the game. So I understand what you mean. I'm just making the distinction for those at home who are maybe watching the VOD and can't ask that clarification step. So you can have as many allies as you can get. It's just that the schoolyard caps out at, like, if you have 3, you can't get any more. And 3 being any 3 allies, so, like, Kana counts towards that, and whoever your starting ally is as Mizuki. So now we have quick thinking. Now, quick thinking, I like it quite a bit. I think it's probably one of the more reliable blue options, but I'll be honest with you. There is no school ally camp if you aren't a coward with 80 doom. True, true. I don't think I mean yeah, no, you're completely correct. I think we've only done it like once or twice, but yeah, you're completely correct. There is no school ally cap if you aren't a coward. But back to quick thinking. Quick thinking is okay. Like I think that I mean, here's the thing. I think quick thinking it's better than art knowledge, but is it better than second sight? I don't think it is. I don't think it's better than second sight. I don't think it's better than running shoes, to be honest with you. Quick thinking, for the most part, is occasionally +2 reason and like plus EXP in the mansion. It's a pretty reliable blue option. We seem to see it a lot, but it's not like that good. And the other world, the Eldritch Realm, can be really strong. So I don't really see like a reason to be like, oh, we gotta get quick thinking at all costs. Although it is worth to consider. If you have mansion mysteries and forest mysteries, are you more likely to take quick thinking or outdoorsman? Now, outdoorsman is a weird perk. It is +1 luck, and it basically exists for the sole purpose of unlocking Moriko. You cannot, and devaluing the general quality of your perk deck. You can't convince me otherwise. I wouldn't say it's like as bad as leadership, but it's not that good. I'm gonna put it near leadership. I think it's better than leadership because it does have a blue option that saves you +2 reason. And I think that it's fallen on the tier list. Yes, it has. It used to be an okay tier ahead of Parting Gift. Listen, for me, when I see that corpse dust, I use. Alright, I get that +20 EXP. I don't value luck that much. I think that the luck checks that we pretty much auto go to, failing them isn't that bad. Like the dog in the trap and the letter at home. So, I mean, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I think you could maybe put it in okay above Parting Gift. But, like, one of the worst outcomes of Parting Gift is it gives you +1 luck randomly. But yeah, so if you've ever had Parting Gift and you let an ally go and you were wondering why you didn't get a stat increase, it's probably because it went to luck, which is a hidden stat. So yeah, there we go. That's gonna be, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm gonna go over the tier list real quick. I'm just gonna look through it, see if there's anything that obviously needs to be changed. And we're gonna briefly talk about the new perks just a little bit. But after that, I think it's generally time to close the stream out. I think that there is one forced luck check. Yeah, no, I think there's like one luck check in the game that you're forced to do, but I don't think it's that bad, right? Like, is it the, is it like the patient that beats you up or something? Or is that a charisma check? I can't remember. But yeah, so we're just gonna look at it over here real quick. I want to bring up my text file just because really I need to look at the new perks to see that I didn't accidentally put one in the wrong spot. So Skilled Butcher, Fresh Meat, and Sharpening Stone. Fresh Meat, we can't... Oh, the elevator! That's right! Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Fresh Meat, can't evaluate it. We have no idea what Mystery Meat is. I can't give you some... I can't tell you what that is. Sharpening Stone, +1 damage for sharp weapons. A banger. Not necessary for the katana. Like, not really good for the katana. Really good for the steak knife, for sure. Maybe makes Meat Cleaver usable. Is it gonna make Army Knife usable? I don't know. I want to check. We just died again. I mean, damn, maybe Sharpening Stone wasn't that good of an idea. But let's... Like, I don't think Army Knife is gonna... Wait, would Army Knife be usable with +1 damage specifically tailored for it? I mean, it's basically like a slightly worse heavy-duty flashlight, so I guess... I guess it could work, yeah. I guess Sharpening Stone could work on that. But what about Scalpel? I think I'm interested in Scalpel the most. It is sharp. So Scalpel has, like, technically... No, Scalpel is better because it's faster, for sure. It has less hit chance, but it's faster, so that makes it much better, I think. And what about Ritual Dagger? I'm going to look that up real quick as well. Ritual Dagger is also sharp. So, Sharpening Stone works on Ritual Dagger, Scalpel, Steak Knife. I think that all these weapons get much better if you use Sharpening Stone. I think that's incredible. So, I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest with you. So, yeah. I think that Sharpening Stone deserves its spot in the list, for sure. I think that's a solid point. It is true, you have to go to the illegal den to get the... you do have to go to the illegal den to get the army knife, which is the biggest problem, but you can let me dream. You can let me dream that it's worth a damn. Then we have Morbid Inspiration and Haunting Dreams. Haunting Dreams being you gain reason when completing a mystery. Morbid Inspiration, gain EXP when losing reason. Morbid Inspiration, I think, is probably better than Fast Learner because it's lose reason, you gain EXP, so it theoretically works inside and outside of combat. I like that a lot. It's still probably going to be very bad, though. Haunting Dreams is very exciting. I'm very excited for, like, a reason equivalent to Daddy's Girl. Sounds great. And then Obsessive Shopper is probably the thing that I'm excited about the most. Quick Shopper in particular, buying an item lowers Doom by 2. Absolutely exciting, really fun. I think it would... I mean, I don't know if it's going to be that good, but I think my biggest complaint with World of Horror is there's a lot of cool stuff that you can't interact with because the Doom cost. This kind of mitigates that. I'm a little bit excited to see what we can, like, sneak into our runs that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Very excited about the perk. Quick Shopper and the Obsessive Shopper perk pack is probably the thing that I'm most excited about as far as character progression and leveling is for the new update. Big Spender, chance of refunding 1 fund after buying an item. Like, it'd be nice, I guess. Tarot Reader, so I think it probably deserves its spot next to Parting Gift, to be honest with you. Tarot Reader, Premonition, event options display which stat will be tested against. I said it when we were ranking it. Where is it? Where is Premonition? It's somewhere around here. Predestined, Unrelenting. Oh, Premonition, Pain, Agony, even. I think that, like, for a new player, very good indeed. It will also help with mod packs a lot, so that you know what you're getting into. Like, if you download, like, a mod pack, like a community mod pack that adds, like, 100 events, you're not gonna remember all those, so Premonition could come in handy. Good for new players. Once you remember the base game stats, like, events, completely useless, not very good, not worth the 100 EXP. Stars Are Right automatically pass all luck skill checks. There are 16 of them in the game. I think that sounds really hilarious. There is one that is mandatory, the aforementioned elevator. Thank you for the reminder, Kiwi. And then we have Inner Strength for Predestined and Unrelenting. +2 reason and +2 stamina. It's a good recovery move, I guess. Like, it can help out. It's literally just like... I think it's fine, right? Like, I think that they're fine. Like, they're not okay, though. They can... Both of these, Predestined and Unrelenting, they'll be able to help you, like, clutch a victory that you wouldn't otherwise have, and you're gonna be thankful for them when they get there. But they just kind of devalue the all perks unlocked deck, and they're just not, like, I would not take inner strength on a custom character, right? Like, if you're making a custom character and you're like, ooh, should I give them the inner strength perk pack? No. Don't. No, just don't do that. Then we have Pushing Yourself, which is the final one. Survival Instinct, pass all event skill checks when your reason is lower than 3. Completely busted, disgustingly broken, potentially one of the best perks in the game, completely deserves its spot at the top. And then Winging It, all event skill checks have a negative modifier that make them harder. Passing an event skill check grants extra EXP. Potentially disgustingly broken as well, but I don't know what negative modifier it is and if it stacks with threat level, and so I can't evaluate it yet. So that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. Just thanks for watching. We're gonna... School Combat is gonna hear you out. No. If you made it to the end, you deserve this. Oh, yeah. If you made it to the end of the VOD and/or live stream, you deserve to be played out by Bulletin Combat. So thank you all so much for watching. I will put the link in the description to Bells of Horror, which is the OST for World of Horror, in case you want to buy it yourself. Thank you so much for watching. My name's been Webweaver. I will see you all on the next episode of World of Horror. Have a good one. Bye.